Hello, and welcome to a book haul, the first book haul I've ever posted. And probably the only book haul for a while, because I got a lot of books. Let's just get started. I'll start with the pile of books I got from Barnes & Noble, because I got a gift card there for Christmas. So I got What We Lose by Zinzi Clemens. This is the only book I got that I've already read, and I love this book dearly. I read it on an ebook, so I didn't have a physical copy, and I really wanted one. The next book I got is The King is Always Above the People by Daniel Alarcon. This is a short story collection. It was casually recommended in a Vlogbrothers video, and I really like short story collections, so I'm really excited for this one. I have another short story collection, Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Marie Mercado, and this has been really popular on BookTube recently, and I really want to get into it. It has a really beautiful cover and a really cool title. Next book I have is The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Alire Sanz. And I read Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe probably like 2 years ago, and I really loved it. But I don't know if I really want to reread it right now, because when I think about what I like about it, it's not particularly, like, I like the characters, but I don't miss the characters. I don't miss the slow plot. I miss the writing style. I miss how tender the author is with the readers, so I decided to just get another book by him. And this was also casually recommended in a Vlogbrothers video. The next few books I got from Book Outlet. I have Attic by Katherine Dunn. I saw this in a bookstore a while ago, and it seemed so interesting, and I just took a picture of it, and then when I was making my Book Outlet order, I just went through my photos I have of books. And this is, I believe it's about a woman. It was written in 1969, and I think it's her first novel, Katherine Dunn's first novel, and it's about a woman who's in a hospital, and I believe she's also hallucinating. Yes. Oh wait, no. That's a different book. Oh my god. So this is about a woman who actually goes to jail. And it's written in 1969, so I think it's going to be really interesting. Next, I have Goodbye Vitamin by Rachel Khong. I've heard really good things about this, and also Cat's sister from Paperback Dreams recommended this, and I had already had it in my mind for a while, so when I saw it on Book Outlet, I was like, oh, I should pick this up. This is pretty short. Next, I have Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. This was really popular a while ago, and it was something that seemed super up my alley, but I just never picked it up, and now I decided to pick it up. Better late than never. Next, I have Too Much and Not the Mood by Durga Chubose. Estee Lalonde really highly recommends this, and I like watching her videos. She doesn't make a lot of book-related videos, but this seems really interesting regardless, and the cover is just beautiful. Next, I have The Rules Do Not Apply by Ariel Levy. This, I believe, is a memoir, and I love memoirs. I haven't read a memoir in forever, so I decided to pick this up. It's also been really popular recently. Next, I have The Regulars by Georgia Clark. And this was another similar situation as Attic, where it was in my, books I thought were interesting when I saw them in a bookstore folder. So yeah. And finally, from Book Outlet, I have Bird's Art Life by Keo McClear. This has an alternate title, Bird's Art Life Death, and Ariel Bissett reviewed it very highly on her book podcast, Books Unbound, and I thought it seemed super interesting, and it's really up my alley, because it's a memoir, but also it's like not a memoir, you know? The final 4 books I have are from my favorite bookstore in the world, Bridge Street Books in DC. So, yeah, and the thing that you'll notice with these books is that the thing that I love about Bridge Street Books is that every time I pick up a book from there, it's a book I've never heard about, but it seems so interesting. They have beautiful covers. Oh my god, they have beautiful covers, and yeah, I'm just excited. So this is not by an unknown author by any means, but Blues for Mr. Charlie by James Baldwin. I am participating in Blackathon in February, which is a readathon centered on Black writers, and one of the challenges is to read a book by a Black person who has an intersection with another marginalized identity, like an LGBT person or a disabled person. And James Baldwin is Black and gay, and I've never read any of his books, and he's so important in the literary sphere, and this play is loosely based on the death of Emmett Till, so it seems really powerful and interesting. The next book I have is The Hospital by Ahmed Bouani, and this is translated work. So this is translated from French, and it's very, does not have a lot of reviews on Goodreads or anything, and I think it's also pretty recent, and it has this beautiful cover, and so it's about an unnamed narrator who is in a hospital, and they are also hallucinating, and I think it's based off of the author's experiences with tuberculosis and being in that setting in a hospital. And it was written in 1990, but it was only translated in 2018, and it was translated by Laura Vergnaud. I'm really excited for this. The next book I have seen in this bookstore every time I've gone in, and I've wanted to pick it up, but I just never have, because it's not up my alley, but also it just seems really interesting. It is The Brief and Frightening Reign of Phil by George Saunders. George Saunders wrote Lincoln in the Bardo, which won the Man Booker, it was like one of the Man Booker books pretty recently. And this is a book, it's about a strange country in which there's only one civilian at any time, and the ruler is a man named Phil, and he is like a tyrannical dictator, but only over one person. And it's supposed to be like satirical, it's supposed to be funny, and yeah, I'm just really interested. The next book is the book I'm probably the most excited about, and it is The Hole by Jose Revueltas, and it's super short, and it's considered a classic of 20th century Mexican literature according to the back, and it's only been translated in 2018, and it was written in 1969, and it was only published in November of 2018 in English. And it's about these men who are trying to smuggle drugs into a jail, and it seems super interesting, and it has this, I think this is a really cool cover, and it has 5 reviews on Goodreads, and none of them are written out reviews, and it just seems so cool. I love this publishing firm, New Directions Press. They published these, and I believe they also published a couple other books on my bookshelf. Let me check. So they published The Green Child, which is on my 12 books to read in 2019. So I think they do a lot of translated work, and it just seems really cool. So those are all my books. Let me do, guys, please like and subscribe if you like this video. Catch you guys next time.